Yeah, but what I have found though, which I'd like your opinion on, is
Mhm,
I think self-love, self-care is really
mhm,
the most selfless thing you can do.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
if you're doing okay, everybody around you is going to be doing
Then
better.
your people can be okay. I mean, I know not everyone is a parent, but for me, I because I am a mom and a very involved, busy mom, I always think about self-care as it relates to my experience of motherhood, right? That like when I neglect myself, and of course, there's a little bit of us that takes a little pride in being the martyr, right? Like, I never do anything for myself. That makes me a good fill in the blank. When I really stop being the martyr and stop sacrificing my hour of reading time to, I don't know, run my kid around somewhere that they don't really need to go, um, I am more irritable and more frustrated with literally everybody in my house when I give up something that I so desperately need in order to, comply to a whim that someone else has, right? Or when I overcommit myself, um, I find myself just really not being the friendliest person because I feel like I gave up this thing and you guys are still misbehaving and you still didn't clean your room. Like you owe me because I didn't do this thing for myself. And really, if we're doing it to be owed something, are we really doing it right? And with a pure heart, like with the best intentions. But I know if I want to go away for an hour, I tell my husband, look, tag, you're it, your turn. And I run out and have time to myself, no matter how much the kids beg to come with me. I go on my own. I take that time to really, really enjoy it and don't spend my self care time feeling guilty about taking self care time. I actually get something out of it. Then I get back and I'm like, oh, my sweet, cute kids. Like it's like almost I had a chance to miss them. Otherwise, when I don't do that, it's I'm touched out, I'm overstimulated, don't come near me, don't bother me, get your own snack, like that kind of thing. So I think self care gives us a sense of balance that we need in order to pour out in the ways that we pour out so much.
Welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here. I have got a guest today that you are going to absolutely love. She is resilient. She is amazing in so many ways. She is doing so much. We're going to talk about this incredible series that you can go watch, and you're going to love the show. So, welcome to the show. And Faith, welcome. Welcome to
Thank
the
you so much. Thank you
I
so
am,
much. Yeah.
oh my gosh. Faith, first of all, you're beautiful in every way.
Thank
Like
you.
you just glow, and for good
It's the
reason.
ring light, but thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta have a good ring light. That's funny. Yeah. So Faith, one thing that I love about you is that you're so pliable, that life sends you one thing and you think you're going one direction and all of a sudden something happens and you head in a different direction and then a
Mhm.
different door opens and or something happens and you've just sort of reinvented so many times, which is can be really difficult for people, but you're so good at it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think if we all think about it, we're all kind of reinventing ourselves, every so often. I really believe that life is seasonal, right? And so there's going to be seasons of times when things are great and kind of going the way we think it should. And then other times when you feel like you got hit by a Mack truck and you got to pivot and you got to figure out your next steps. And so my life for most of the past several years has been all about pivoting. I started out in mental health, which is something I always knew that I would do. Um, but I actually started out as in my career as a school counselor, working with children, and that's my passion. I love the littles. They're not jaded yet. They don't have that much of an attitude. They're like pliable, right? You can really kind of work with them. And I loved my job, did that for, wow, almost 15 years. And then on my way to work at a school here in Atlanta, in a suburb of Atlanta called Johns Creek, Georgia. I actually was at a stoplight, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden, literally got hit from behind by a tractor trailer. Um, from that, from that motor vehicle accident, I sustained a concussion and a traumatic brain injury, which are conditions that I still have challenges with today. If anybody knows about traumatic brain injuries, you know that they don't go away or like you don't get cured of them or anything like that. It's just you get better at managing the symptoms and you can kind of like treat the symptoms, but you still will have challenges with that condition. So, had that diagnosis, and then I ended up having to resign from my job in the school system that I had loved and been doing for a long time. And then found myself in a bit of a dark place where I really had to prioritize my own mental health and wellness and realized how poor of a job I had been doing with that up until that point. Like I was prioritizing my students' mental health and my family's, but not my own. But we were broke. You know, my family went down from two incomes to one. My husband was his hardest trying to, keep everything together, keep the lights on, keep the mortgage paid. And so I was like, well, what can I do to put my mental health at the forefront that is not going to be something that bankrupts us, right? Because everybody's always promoting this trendy self-care that is all lavish spa treatments and girls trips to Bali and all these things, which is not doable for the majority of the population. And I decided to write myself just a little positive affirmation because I'd always been a writer. I'd had a food blog at one point, loved writing in journals, and wrote myself a little note and said I would do it for 15 days. I started myself on a self-love challenge and told myself that I would post that little note every day for 15 days. And I did it. And let's see, 28, 18 plus 7 is, so for now I'm 7 years later, I'm still writing those notes because once I started, I just noticed the response that I was getting, the traction that I was gaining, and realized that the thing I was doing to heal myself, I think was contributing to the healing of like hundreds of thousands of other people. And I realized I can't stop writing these notes. So yeah, so now I write notes and I post on social media and I see clients privately for counseling, and I speak at women's conferences and I, teach workshops about self-care and how to write your own personal affirmations and things like, and I wrote a book. So I've been kind of doing a lot of things. I usually forget about that, but yeah, I've been busy.
Yeah. Well, and you were helping a lot of kids in your
Mhm,
job. You were helping a lot of kids. Now
mhm.
you're helping thousands and thousands of women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is
that's
so
the
wonderful. And
beautiful thing.
yeah, and mental health is something we don't talk near enough about. It
Mm-mm.
seems to be this kind of shameful thing that you leave
Right.
hid in the closet with your crazy Uncle Charlie or something. And we need to talk about it, right?
We
And
do.
the whole self-love, I think gets such a bad rap because it's
Mhm.
not about going to Bali for a
Right.
spa weekend. It is a day-to-day thing. And I find that people think that, oh my gosh, especially women, we
Mhm.
think, oh my word, if we're looking after us and we got the kids, we got the husband, we got the life, we
Right.
got all these things,
There's the
that it's
guilt.
selfish.
It, yeah,
Right. It
absolutely.
is. It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Yeah, but what I have found though, which I'd like your opinion on, is
Mhm,
I think self-love, self-care is really
mhm,
the most selfless thing you can do.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
if you're doing okay, everybody around you is going to be doing
Then
better.
your people can be okay. I mean, I know not everyone is a parent, but for me, I because I am a mom and a very involved, busy mom, I always think about self-care as it relates to my experience of motherhood, right? That like when I neglect myself, and of course, there's a little bit of us that takes a little pride in being the martyr, right? I never do anything for myself. That makes me a good fill in the blank. Um, when I really stop being the martyr and stop sacrificing my hour of reading time to, I don't know, run my kid around somewhere that they don't really need to go, um, I am more irritable and more frustrated with literally everybody in my house when I give up something that I so desperately need in order to, comply to a whim that someone else has, right? Or when I overcommit myself, um, I find myself just really not being the friendliest person because I feel like I gave up this thing and you guys are still misbehaving and you still didn't clean your room. Like you owe me because I didn't do this thing for myself. And really, if we're doing it to be owed something, are we really doing it right in the with a pure heart, like with the best intentions? But I know if I want to go away for an hour, I tell my husband, look, tag, you're it, your turn. And I run out and have time to myself, no matter how much the kids beg to come with me. I go on my own. I take that time to really, really enjoy it and don't spend my self care time feeling guilty about taking self care time. I actually get something out of it. Then I get back and I'm like, oh, my sweet, cute kids. Like it's like almost I had a chance to miss them. Otherwise, when I don't do that, it's I'm touched out, I'm overstimulated, don't come near me, don't bother me, get your own snack, like that kind of thing. So I think self-care gives us a sense of balance that we need in order to pour out in the ways that we pour out so much.
Oh my word, that was so well said. Like that should just be a speech given to every woman across the globe
I'm
because
still learning though. I'm not getting an A+ at it every day. There are days when I am like just nailing it and I'm getting it and I'm like balancing things. And then there are days when maybe a couple months ago I got super ambitious and excited and committed to like doing outside things with people. And then as the time comes, I'm hoping it gets canceled, but it didn't get canceled. And then I have to go and do the thing. And now I'm just frustrated with everyone and I kind of yell at my kid or just tell them to leave me alone. Then I have to go back and apologize. And I'd rather not have to give so many of those apologies. Like I'd rather be able to be present in the moment and truly like enjoy my family, enjoy my time with them versus simply like tolerating it or trying to get through it.
yeah, I totally get that. That yes, absolutely. Those the things that you get you busy in life. And yeah, there's those times that you go, man, maybe they'll call and cancel.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe I won't have to do it,
mhm, mhm.
and that's not a fun place to be
It's
in
not.
because
It's
you do,
not.
you get frustrated and you think,
Mhm.
oh gosh. And then if you do the thing, are you going to give it your all? Are you going to
Exactly.
show up the right way? And
Hmm.
waste everybody's time. I mean, it's just a battle. And I think as
Hmm.
women, we want to do it all,
We
so we
do.
we try to do it all, but it has to
Hmm.
start with you.
It does.
does have to start with you.
It does.
And
I think it comes out of just not wanting to let people down, not wanting to disappoint someone, not wanting to, you know, not that they would think badly of us per se, but we know what it feels like to be let down, or we know what it feels like to be overlooked or to be forgotten. And so it comes from a good place, which I think is something that isn't talked about enough, that like our overdoing and our like overstretching does not come from a place of us like intentionally trying to destroy ourselves. We're doing it for a good reason because we truly love and care about these people, and we don't want our child to like experience the disappointment of not having that 12th pair of bedazzled unicorn leggings. So we go and we like buy them, even though we should put that money aside, or we should use it for a little treat, iced coffee for ourselves in the afternoon. But we just get such a sense of like accomplishment and just joy from giving joy and
mhm.
seeing that joy on their faces, or thinking, oh, I have a meeting, I can't make it to that game, and then we do end up making it, and see their face as they see us in the crowd, and it's this whole thing, it warms your heart. You want to give them all those moments, but sometimes we need our moments too. And that's what I'm learning. It's not that I'm like totally, saying no to everything around me. It's that I'm just being more intentional with my yeses, because I realize that for every yes that I give out, there's less of me to go around.
Mhm.
And so,
Wow, that was big what you
yeah,
just said.
the
It's
less of
true.
me,
It's
the less
true.
of me has to be able to be justified by
Hmm.
the yes that I gave. And that's kind of the way I like monitor my yeses. And like I do that little quiz. Like if I say yes to committing to bake a cake for that friend's potluck, whatever, what where is that less going to show up? It's going to be less patience, less energy, less bandwidth to do other things that are really important. So maybe I need to like take a rain check on this one.
I love that. I love that. It's kind of like you got to pick and choose your yeses.
Absolutely,
Make sure you
absolutely.
yes to the
Yeah.
right things you should say yes to. Okay,
Mhm.
so it's so much wisdom you have just dropped, and so good. I just love you, Faith. I want you to talk about Jesus calling because
Yeah.
it's so powerful. It's so good. So,
Yeah, it is. It's super powerful. I distinctly remember, I think it was like 2008 or 2009, a friend of mine gave me a copy of the book Jesus Calling, and I absolutely love it. I have read it every year since then, because even though it's a daily devotional, every year, depending on what I'm going through, right, that day's message means something completely different, in different timing of life. And so, been a huge fan of Jesus Calling. And then I find out, what, they have a podcast and a TV show. No way. This is wonderful. And so folks from Jesus Calling reached out to me and asked me if I'd be willing to host. And I am so blessed and so grateful to have this opportunity. Like, this show is just, it is it is faith, and it is grace, and it is redemption, like just all wrapped up with a pretty bow, and lots of wonderful people really work hard on this show. And so thank you to them. But it just shows how we are all spiritual beings, having a human experience in this life,
mhm.
right? That spiritually, every single one of us is going through something. We tend to idolize certain people and we look at social media and we go to concerts and watch all these different TV shows and things and think, oh, that person is a celebrity. They're a multimillionaire. They have this, they have that, they have 10 vacation homes. They must be just brimming with joy. They must be happy. They must have life figured out. And I realized when lots of those types of people started following my little Instagram account and reposting my little positive affirmations that those people are regular people just like the rest of us. And so I think that's something that Jesus Calling Stories of Faith really highlights is the humanity in all of us, right? The way that we're kind of all in the same boat. Now, not all the boats look the same. Like you could be in a yacht and I could be in a kayak, like without a paddle, but like we're all on this like proverbial sea of life, trying to find something to anchor us. We're looking for that anchor. And for a lot of us, our faith, our spirituality, our belief and trust in God is what gives us that footing, that sure footing, and is that anchor. And so I think the show really touches on that. Just the interviews of all the wonderful, extremely accomplished guests while they're sharing their struggles of and struggles and successes of life, but how their faith greatly impacted those experiences, and also how they came out of those experiences with a greater understanding of God and faith and belief, and really what that means to persist and to
Hmm.
be impenetrable.
Hmm. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love everything you just said about it. That's so true. And I think one thing that it does for the viewers is it lets you know that everybody goes through crap,
Absolutely.
but you get to see somebody who has been through it, gotten through it, right, and is on the other
Mhm.
side. And
Mhm.
that people are people all over the world. We
Yeah,
are all created in his image. We are all loved equally by God. We are all valuable to him. We all matter. And that's what you do. That's what the show does. I appreciate it so much. Where can people watch it?
absolutely. It is on the Up Faith and Family Network. It's streaming. The first episode is live now. It's the season premiere of season 4, and then a new episode will drop every Thursday for the next several weeks.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Faith, thank you so much for
You're
being here. I
welcome.
could talk to you for hours.
Thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate everything you do. Thank you for joining me. And
Of
thank you,
course.
everybody, for joining me. Go and watch the show. I guarantee it is going to be the bright spot in the middle of your week. It's so uplifting. You're going to want to see it. Watch the past seasons as well.
Mhm.
But Faith, you rock. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for having me, Kim. You take care.
You too.